It is time to talk sports with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Dan Manucci of Fox Sports 910 a.m., Roc, Manuch, and Jimmy B. And Dan, how are you doing? Look at you, looking good as always.
Well, always reporting for duty, sir, here on a beautiful Thursday morning. Always ready for, look at you, Mr. Dapper Dan there myself.
Well, I'm just making sure that I look good, especially when I'm ready for the interviews with you and, of course, that 49er quarterback that hopefully is coming to the Super Bowl. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I got to talk Monday Night Football, and we got to talk about, of course, as we say, was the divorce worth it to come back and play football and lose like they did in a wild card game? Let's talk. Everyone's talking about it a little bit. Is Tom Brady done?
I got to believe after watching last night's game, I got to believe he's done, Brad. I mean, he did not look good. Matter of fact, with Manucci's clipboard we do each and every Tuesday, I do a good, I do an honorable mention, and I do a bad. Very rare in the annals of one Tom Brady does he make the bad. Well, he made the bad this past week because he had trouble hitting the water from the boat most times. And I got to tell you what, he looked old. The timing was off. The arm wasn't quite there. He somewhat looked a little discouraged. So, hindsight's 20/20. I think in his mind, he did what he had to do in reference to coming back. His only problem was making a decision, I think, prematurely last year. And I think coming back going, you know what, I still got enough left in the tank. Look, he threw for the most yards he's ever thrown for in a year. He had a very good year. So people go, was a divorce worth it? He lost out. They looked bad doing it. Well, early on, they had a chance. But if you're really asking me the question, no, because you can eventually not eat the football because life after football, well, wait, he's going to make $1 billion in broadcasting. Let me change that. Yeah, you can have life after football. But to answer your question, Bradley, was a divorce worth it? No, a divorce to move on with your family is never worth it.
Yeah, so crazy. All right, speaking of family, let's talk about our new family member to the Arizona Cardinals that has happened. And I'll tell you, I saw him walking to the airport. I seen the pictures of him. He's not coming to play around. He looks serious.
You know, Monty Osenfort, who's a guy that was with the New England Patriots for 15 years. Last 3 he's been with the Tennessee Titans. Winning programs, right, Brad? Winning programs, Super Bowl winning programs, Super Bowl contending programs. He knows how to get it done. I love the hire. Michael Bidwell, it's about damn time you got something right here these last several years. So I like Monty, young guy, 44 years old, knows how to get it done. Brad, he knows how to build a program and to sustain a team. Now, it helps when you have a guy like Tom Brady you can build around. Helps you have a guy like Derrick Henry in Tennessee that you can build around the fine running back. But what I like about him is the consistency he developed as a player personnel director. A guy that brings in the linemen, he brings in the right pieces. And the other key is too, Brad, a little hint here, is that Brian Flores was at New England for many of those years when he was the general manager or the player personnel director at New England. So Brian Flores, the former defensive coordinator, former coach at Miami, who, by the way, was let go with a winning record because I think there might have been a few issues with Tua. But you know what? Brian Flores, I like him as a defensive coordinator. I'd prefer a offensive-minded head coach. But if he's got to come in here, clean up the culture, and get Kyler Murray right and get the right kind of people to perform properly, I think that'd be a very good marriage with Brian Flores and Monty Osenfort as the general manager and head coach.
Yeah, I was thinking is sending Monty Williams over there from the Suns to coach the Cardinals a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He puts them all right. That's what I'm telling you. Why don't we do that?
Well, I think the biggest thing, Brad, you bring up a point. You got to have a guy that's going to coach him and not be their peer or friend. And I think Cliff Kingsbury, not a good staff. Don't get me wrong, a very good staff. But as a head coach, Brian Flores or somebody like him with that kind of demeanor is not going to let the tail wag the dog. Heads up, Kyler Murray. If you get a coach like this, it ain't your world and everybody else is passing through. You're going to have to adhere to what these guys do because these guys know how to build a Super Bowl franchise and win.
I like it. All right, we got to wrap it up, but I do have to ask you, what's your pick for this weekend? Who's going to be, what do you
Well,
got?
I got to go San Francisco over the Cowboys.
Okay.
I got to go the Eagles over the Giants.
Okay.
I got to go the Bills over the Bengals, and I got to go KC over Jacksonville, the Jaguars. So Brock Purdy is lighting it up. He's making things happen there in the Bay Area.
I love it. I love it. He's doing awesome. And so next week I want to talk about him after we see what this weekend goes like, because as it gets closer, that's your guy, and you've done it. Dan, tell them where they can find you.
You can go to Fox Sports 910 every day from 1 to 4 p.m. or just go to @Roc and Manuch. You get that streaming thing going on. And if you want more information about quarterbacks, about Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, just go to @QB Manuch. We got it all covered, and we'll dial it all in as the playoffs, the big time, the divisionals are upon us, Bradley.
I love it. Dan, thank you, man.
Always a pleasure. Thanks.